boy in the corner. It's your boy. It's Kavi's Corner.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Kavi's Corner. We've been off for 2 weeks because of these 2-week-long Masters tournaments, but we have the full rundown of what happened in Rome leading up to Roland Garros, the year's second major tournament. As I tape down my webcam/phone. My name is Kavi. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the GTL Tennis Podcast Network. Please do give this video a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and hey, please drop your comments. We're going to have a little bit of an interactive session as we always do. And look at this from Mumbai, one of my homies, Daria Ravo, Kavi buddy. I'm right on time today for your corner. Thank you, buddy. Great to have you. And then, of course, GSL on Novak's birthday. We have Gary Saint Laurent. Hey, everyone, Kavi. We're inching towards a big three on the WTA and a crapshoot, Novak notwithstanding, on the ATP. Who knew? Who knew indeed, Gary? Very, very excited for this next coming tournament, Roland Garros. Very, we do have some info on the big three on the women's side as well. So we got Kathy in the house. Hey, Kavi, and Gobi. Gobi's my cute little dog. She's just over there. I had a great morning, by the way, folks. I woke up at 7:30, went to play pickleball for an hour with my cousin over at his club there with a couple other guys, and just, got the fresh oxygen in my body. I'm just feeling great. GSL saying men's final was a grind, just as it should be. Yeah, we're going to get into it. You know what? Why don't we get into it right? Well, actually, one more comment here. Whose dance did you like, Medi or Steph? We're going to get into that as well, Daria. So great questions from everyone. And speaking of the men's final, as Gary was just mentioning, let's get into it. Check it out, folks, from at GTL Tennis. Please give them a follow. Daniil Medvedev, yes, the Russian guy who hates clay. He is the champion in Rome, folks, leading up to the Roland Garros. He's put himself in a phenomenal position, defeating Holger Rune 7-5, 7-5 to win his first ever clay court Masters title. The man who says he hates clay is now a contender for Roland Garros. Yep, there he is beside the Colosseum that he conquered. Daniil Medvedev, champion in Rome. All right, continuing on. This is from Yasmin Saeed saying, Daniil Medvedev is a clay Masters champion, triple exclamation point, wins the last 4 games of the match. Yeah, he was down 7-3. Of the match to beat Holger Rune 7-5, 7-5, and win the title in Rome. He will now be the second seed at the French Open. He actually overtakes Novak in the rankings to number 2, meaning Novak Djokovic could face Alcaraz potentially in the semifinals, depending on how the seedings go down. All right, some more from this from Bastian Fashon saying Daniil Medvedev in 2021. This is what he says: if you like to be in the dirt like a dog, I don't judge. Daniil Medvedev in 2023. He's kneeling down as the champion on a clay court surface. Who would have thought? He had a very rough last year, folks. He had a hernia surgery. He had a child, and that's not a rough thing, but it adds to all the momentous occasions. And he got beat by Nadal in the Australian Open final. Of course, he was up 2-0 in that one a couple of years ago, and ever since then, he had kind of dropped off, but it's so great to see. He has 5 titles now, does Medvedev, in this year. Before, he'd never won a title before August in a calendar year. He'd never won in the first half of the year. He has 5 titles this year, and he's put himself in contention for Roland Garros. So some amazing stuff. A big dip in last year, and now the dip has kind of turned itself into a very, very high peak. So congratulations, and continuing on. From Vunch saying 20 titles in 20 different cities for Daniil Medvedev, 6th different Masters 1000, 8th different big title. I believe there's an ATP title, tour level ATP finals in there, as well as of course, the US Open. Versatile, adaptable, all-surface player, a threat everywhere to everyone in all conditions, only 1 set lost along the way, a real chance to finish 2023 as the year-end world number 1. You know what? amazing, right? Again, going back to what I was talking about, how he had the huge dip and now he's in a big, huge peak. And it's really great to see, because there was a little concern, I think, in general. People were like, well, is Medvedev ever going to come back, challenge for number one? Is he ever, you know what I mean? You know, he's not really good on clay. Well, he's turning everything on its head right now. And, you know, everyone's kind of like, oh, Alcaraz is going to run away with this, and Runa's coming up, kind of forgetting a little bit of Medvedev. But this result is massive, folks. Very, very massive. Okay, so Daria was asking who did it better on the dance. Now, we are not allowed to show video for copyright reasons, but I have paused this video in a place where you can't really tell that they were dancing, but you kind of can. So here you go. Cincinnati 2002. Tsitsipas beats Medvedev and does a victory dance. So right after match point, he kind of does this like kind of disco two-step thing, you know, real quick for like 3 seconds. And then Rome, when Medvedev beat Tsitsipas in the semifinal, he kind of does like the twist. He's standing up. He's 6'6", right? He does the twist and he brings his butt all the way down to the ground and then shakes himself back up. So it was another 3-4 second dance. But so unfortunately can't show the video, but there he is doing the twist. And then, yeah, Tsitsipas was doing kind of like a two-step sort of deal. But anyways, so there you go. And the answer, Daria, who did it better? I honestly think Tsitsipas was the better of the two dancers. As Medvedev looked a little bit hilarious. Yeah, so there you go. I'm going to go ahead and give that to Tsitsipas, but the war was won by the Russian. Daniil Medvedev takes it in that semifinal, and of course takes out Holger Rune, who says this after the match: not my dream final today, but can't be unhappy with my clay results so far this year. 4 tournaments, if you're wondering what those are so far: Monte Carlo, Munich, Madrid, Rome. 4 tournaments, 3 finals: Monte Carlo, Munich he won, and then Rome. And then number 6 on Monday, taking a career high. So he's saying taking some days off and looking forward to Paris. And then he's got the robot flex arm. And this is another question from Sportskeeda Tennis saying, despite his loss, Holger Rune will reach his career high ranking on Monday. Will he become world number 1 this year? Let me know what you think in the comments. Very good question. A lot of people threatening these days, and it's making tennis a lot of fun. All right, this is from Haresh Ramchandani saying, my favorite Holger Rune quote. This from my interview with him back in March 2021 when he was ranked number 317 in the world. Hashtag Rune, hashtag Holger Rune. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because it's a beautiful quote, and whether you're a child or not, this is life lessons that we all can live with. So this is what Holger Rune said: I dream big. I have done that since I was little. I think maybe all children dream big. They are just not heard, or their dreams are not accepted or taken seriously. Maybe people or even your parents laugh and you get embarrassed and start to dream smaller dreams. Very true. Or you tend not to share your dreams because you are afraid of what people may think. I think this may be why many people do not dare to say their dreams out loud. I think the part about pressure comes much later. My parents backed me up in my dreams. I remember many dinner parties with the extended family, and the family was like, but you have to go to school. You cannot live off your tennis. But my parents always said, sure you can. I love that. Sure he can. They truly believe that you can achieve anything you want if you really want it, are passionate, and work your ass off. So very, very great words. And I mean, you know, this kid went from being kind of a head case to now having this maturity. I mean, he said this 2 years ago, that when he's 18 years old. So, you know what I mean? Like, he really believes himself. That's one thing we've always known that he really has in him, is he has this like this unwavering confidence in himself. So yeah, great to see, and great results. You know, 2 finals in Masters 1000s, Monte Carlo, Rome, wins in Munich, early exit, second match in Madrid, but overall a really good clay court season leading up to Roland Garros so far for the youngster. Now I'm going to get back into the comments here real quick. I'm going to scroll up because we got a lot going on. I'll start right here. How about this? Snehil, welcome Snehil from Mumbai as well. Happy birthday, Novak Insane Djokovic. Yes. We'll have something on that in a second. Not any more questions, says GSL, of who the men's player of 2023 is to date. Daniil is going to be playing loose and free in Paris. As a Nole fan, I wasn't expecting that. Yep, absolutely. 5 titles so far in the year. Also made it to the was it Indian Wells final against Alcaraz there. So, I mean, just constantly making it deep into huge tournaments. Daria, I don't think Rune would last in 5 sets the way he was breathing when it comes to physical. It's not his game. I'm very curious to see that. That is one thing with Rune and Sinner. The physicality part to me in a best of 5 is still a question mark, more so than it is for Tsitsipas, Alcaraz, Djokovic, Medvedev. Medvedev's one of the most in shape people. Max saying, hey, Kavi and everyone, welcome Max from Vegas, from Nevada. We got the chicken dance, saying Kathy, in regards to the little Tsitsipas and Daniil battle there. Hello, Kathy from GSL. We got little hellos and highs from everyone. Ems, hey, Kavi, welcome, Ems. Evening time in Ireland. Kavi gets it done. Cedric, my friend, great to have you, brother. Snail, another one, saying Medvedev's dance was more hilarious and meant to troll Tsitsipas. Yeah, for sure. But if you're asking me, I think Dario was asking who I thought danced better. Tsitsipas danced better, but if you're asking me who was more kind of hilarious with it, definitely I agree with you on the Daniil there. Well, there was some maturity. Chicken dance it is. Okay, Holger was ranked 317 2 years ago. Wow, yeah, some crazy increases in the last couple years for him. Gosh, a lot of hellos and highs. We got Medi and Rune are 2 of my faves. Very exciting players. Yeah, I've noticed, Ems, that Rune has become your kind of second fave, or is it third fave? But yeah, so I was thinking you must be happy for the final there, and it was a good final. This whole Daniil up to 2 and Novak down to 3 thing is also something I think the majority of us missed until Saturday when he made the final. Knocked me for a loop. Novak is probably just fine. Yeah, I don't expect, I mean, 2-3. The only difference is depending on the draw, it's potentially Alcaraz, Djokovic in the semis or in the final. So, you know what I mean? When they get that far, it's all, everyone's playing really well. So it's going to be great. M saying, most open French Open in years. Can't wait for it to start. Yeah, same here. And then I have unfollowed Patrick. So much marketing of Rune earlier. It was drills, which was good, at least talking about Patrick Mouratoglou. I hope Holger can win more Masters 1000 titles. He definitely will with his grit and determination. I agree with you. I certainly, barring a catastrophic career-ending injury, I definitely see him lifting several of those. Sorry, missed the women's final. Did Kalinina have a thigh injury? Good question. Let's get into it, actually. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually think I have the specific injury, but we will get into it right now. All right, so at Relevant Tennis, saying Rybakina wins in Rome. Elena Rybakina claims her first ever WTA 1000 on clay as she defeats Kalinina, who was forced to retire when she was 6-4, 1 love down. So she lost 4-6 and she was down love 1. Now the best, I think they were trying to say not the best way to win a title, but still a great week for Elena. Red hot Elena Rybakina, folks. She has won. Now she's won a major, big titles on grass, clay, and hard courts. Watch out for this one, folks. Defeats Angelina Kalinina 6-4, 1 love after the retirement. Champion in Rome. Molto bene. And a little bit more. First serve tennis. Saying a heartbreaking way for the tournament to end. Angelina Kalinina is forced to retire down 6-4, 1 love. Rybakina is therefore the women's singles champion in Rome, winning career title number 5. 3 of her opponents this week retired mid-match. So her second match, her fourth match, which was the quarterfinal against Iga Swiatek, Iga retired at 2-all in the third set, but she had injured herself on the second last point of the tiebreak in set number 2. By the way, just so everyone knows, Rybakina fought her way back in that match. She was down a set and 2-4 in the second set. She had fought her way all the way back, setting up 3 set points before Iga got hurt. So this was not a case where Iga got injured and then Rybakina came through. Rybakina fought her way back, and they were just starting to both play their best at the same time, and we were in for a great third set. But Iga injured her right quad a little bit. She kind of clicked her leg, so she decided to retire at 2-all after a medical timeout. She took one right at the end of the second set, and then I think she took a pill as well somewhere in those 4 games in set number 3 before retiring. Kalinina, she was saying that she wasn't able to push off of her leg, but I don't know exactly what the diagnosis was. Speaking more on Kalinina, this is from at the tennis letter. Anna Kalinina is in tears as she explains to the physio that she simply cannot continue her match against Rybakina. You can see the heartbreak on her face. And look, she's literally crying. She's got the red eyes. This was her moment, her first WTA 1000 final, best result of her career, but her fighting spirit this week was a true inspiration. Now, we also had some drama on the women's side, not only in Rome, but also kind of carrying over from Madrid. We had some issues with cake sizes. We had issues with Iga mentioning in her, she went to the finals there in Madrid, losing to Sabalenka, but she mentioned that, I was playing some late matches after 1 a.m. and, she was kind of taking little shots. And well, some of this carried over, folks. And this from Miles David. David, you might have heard him. He's also one of our GTL commentators once in a while. Tuned into tennis. He's good to follow there. Not sure how much it comes down to poor scheduling or unfortunate weather, but the women's match is often falling behind the men's matches in a very let's just get this over with fashion. During Madrid and now Rome doesn't come across that well. I fully agree with Miles on that. Doesn't look great. Continuing on with this. Now, this is from Amy Lundy-Dahl. She's a journalist in the tennis sphere. The Rome Trophy Prezzo. They were scrambling after Kalinina retired so suddenly, so they weren't really sure, because Kalinina actually went, she called the match, and then she actually took her stuff and left the court right away. And I think the organizers might have been wondering, hey, we got a Ukrainian facing a Kazakhstani, but Russian-born Kazakhstani. Maybe this presentation is not going to go down with the both of them. Maybe that's what they thought. I don't know. But then they came back out and they did do a presentation. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. And then it says the guy made a mistake calling Rybakina first. It's okay. Mistakes happen. That was okay. The fans were absolutely brutal. So the fans were whistling. Now, another thing that I should set up is the Saturday is when the women's final was, but there was back-to-back midday men's matches. You had Holger Rune and Casper Ruud, the early match. Rune won that one in 3. And then Tsitsipas and Medvedev, it got rain delayed to start. Then it went till it was 4-4. Then there was a lengthy rain delay. They came back, played one game. Tsitsipas actually took a 7-4. Sorry, it was 4-4 delay. They played one game, 5-4. Tsitsipas took a 5-4 lead, and then another super lengthy delay. I'm talking a couple hours. Comes back, Medvedev on fire, wins the last, he was down 4-5. And so he wins, 3 straight games, and he takes it 7-5. I think there was one more rain delay. So anyways, the women's final didn't even begin until after 11 p.m. A lot of people were saying, why aren't they just canceling it and letting them play before the men tomorrow? Still don't really have a full answer for that, but a lot of things were going on. So to blame the late start, again, because of the several times rain delayed. And the thing is, you can't blame the tournament organizers on rain. It's but you can say, hey, maybe we should do some potential roof renovations. And the last point that Amy makes here is they should have played the women's final today, meaning the day after. There's got to be flexibility. And so there's Rybakina during the trophy ceremony looking back. I think she's just addressing her opponent. And by the way, it was great to see Angelina Kalinina is actually friends with Rybakina. They did hug, and there's a nice photo right here. And this is from at the tennis letter. So one more tweet regarding the whole women's debacle with, in Madrid, the doubles champions and runners up were not given a chance to speak, and it's just so many things looking really bad right now. Now, here you go. Alize Cornet on the Rome final between Rybakina and Kalinina saying, sad to see the women's final of one of the biggest events starting at 11 p.m. Nobody in the stands. Not really cool for both players to start an important match so late. Why not put both men and women's finals tomorrow? And there you go. And this is what I really wanted to show, that a lot of people were expecting. Kalinina did not shake hands with Kudermetova after her semifinal. Okay, so I was not sure whether she was or not, but apparently these two know each other. They're friends. Their coaches are friends with each other, like the coach of Rybakina and the coach of Kalinina know each other well. So all love there. Good to see and good smile. Unfortunate for Kalinina, and gutsy, folks. Kalinina, in her quarterfinal match, she played 3 hours and 41 minutes, beating Beatrice Haddad Maia. Longest match of the year on the women's side. Follows that up with a semifinal win over 3 hours as well from Kudermetova. So maybe just time on court wearing her down, causing the injury there. So I'm going to take a quick little break here from the slides, and then we'll get into some rankings info. However, Gary saying, ouch, Kavi, Kalinina, and Rybakina. I'm going to have to, sorry, Gary, I'm going to have to listen to the thing again. So excuse me for the rest if I'm just calling it how I'm reading it here, but I'll do my best to try and figure it out. I know you're always trying to help with that, and I appreciate that. Let's go back just a little bit. Max saying Novak is definitely going to bring his A game prior to Roland Garros. I know I'm stating the obvious. Well, there's no prior. It's just Roland Garros now. Nothing else in between. But yeah, Gary saying, Snehal, I so want you to be right. Maybe I missed what Snehal said. But as I always say, winning a best of 5 against the big 3 is still the ultimate test in men's tennis. Yeah, it is. Although Novak's the only man standing now for the next 2 to 3 majors. No one's going to have to go through Rafa, and maybe never again. Hopefully I'm wrong on that. I really do hope I'm wrong. So there was a time where it's like, well, you win a major, but if you don't go through the big 3, does it really count? Well, now it's like there's only one of them left, and so not too many chances to beat them all. But there you go. Daria saying Snehal agreed, but he isn't in his best right now. No, not the best yet. But if I have faith in anyone finding their way into form or to good enough form so that when he gets to Paris, Novak can start playing his way into it. So he knows what he needs to do. He needs to get in there and be sharp for the first couple matches. And once he gets his legs and all that stuff, which he's already going to be working on today, leading up to next week, he's going to be fine. So I would not be too worried about Novak. Folks, that's just me. Daria and Slams, he's a different animal, says Snehal. Novak benefits the best of 5 in Grand Slams. Let's see. Alcaraz fan here, so would love see both in semis. Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to see. I want to see. These are the tournaments where you want to see the big matchups. You want to see the Medvedevs, Djokovic, the Alcaraz, the Sinners. Yeah, these are the matches where the tennis gets elevated quite a bit, so we really want to see these big matches. I literally watched Elena mature on slow clay during her match with Iga. She came from nowhere and figured out she can do this. Good for her. Kavi, Ryba is still a question mark on clay. She won most of her matches through retirement. Yes, Snehal, but she came back from a set and a breakdown against Iga on Iga's best surface. Iga, this surface is the most similar to Roland Garros, and Rybakina forcefully took that second set back. She was down 2-4, and then she ended up taking it in the tiebreak. She was up 6-3, takes it 7-3 in the tiebreak, all before the injury. So I don't fully agree with you necessarily, but I don't think she's still a question mark on clay. I do not. I think that she's proven that she can win on grass. She's proven that she can win on hard court. And now she's proven that she can win on clay. That's just me, though. Hey, guys, is the draw out? Not just yet, even though it's not her fault. But still, yeah, again, when you come back from Iga, when Iga's up a set and a break in her tournament, she's won twice in a row, favorite surface, the surface that she's definitely favorite on against Rybakina, I should say. Rybakina makes her way back into it. I think that she's a definite threat, and maybe even, gosh, if she were to play Iga, I might even put her as a favorite, believe it or not. Yeah, crazy. Snehal, in my eyes, she was going to win all 3, but your point valid, of course. So Ryba winning Roland Garros. Oh my God. I could definitely see it, folks. I would actually put her above Iga and Sabalenka today, if you're asking me. Yes, that is right. Because Iga has the potential question mark with the issue with the leg. And I just can't help but be continually impressed with this young woman here, Rybakina. So, Gary, that's just recency bias because she's one of the top 3 players of the year. Again, she what we're trying to tell you, Snehal, is she proved it this weekend. You're not agreeing, so if you don't agree, we just have to agree to disagree. But when someone pulls the results, wrestles back a defeat from the world number 1, I think they're definitely in the mix. That's just me. Swiatek can't do Ryba even on clay. Ouch, Kavi. Again, sorry, Gary. You're gonna have to put up with it for the rest of them until I do a proper one there. Usually, I do try to figure out what the proper pronunciation is. However, I normally do that when I'm prepping for matches. I forgot to do it because I didn't think of doing that here. I think Saba will win Roland Garros. So we got one for Saba here from Ems. Players will do serve and volley more, will give trouble to Alcaraz. What do you all think? No, not really. There's very few players who do serve and volley, and even fewer players who do it on clay. The last time Alcaraz faced a serve and volley player was Maxime Cressy, and he beat him, although he did have some trouble with Jan-Lennard Struff with the serve and volley. But Jan-Lennard Struff is extremely offensive players. A lot of other players, first of all, they're not comfortable at the net. They don't come to the net very quickly or aggressively. But Jan-Lennard Struff does. So if there's a player who's aggressive and does it, yeah, that could be a good strategy. But you have to be a higher skill level than Alcaraz. It's tough there. Kavi, do you definitely think Novak is benefiting to win Roland Garros now that Rafa is not participating? Well, I mean, I think everyone's chances just went up quite a bit, and Novak already had a high chance. He's the only player to ever beat Rafa there twice. So Rafa only has 3 defeats, 1 to Robin Soderling, 2 to Novak. By the way, I don't know if you guys caught, I was doing the countdown episode, and I think I made an error there. I said something about he'd only lost 2 matches there, and 1 was a pullout. That's not true. He lost twice to Novak, once to Robin Soderling. So, yeah, definitely everyone has a better chance. M's great prediction, says Gary. Harder to call the men's, Gary. I have 4 potentially winning it. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot. It's wide open. It is wide open. Oh, come on. Ryba absolutely made a miraculous comeback in the second set against Swiatek. Also, Ryba is mental giant on the women's tour without a sports psychologist. Yeah, she's just they call her the ice queen, right? She doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And I think that also plays against the opponent, because the opponent's sitting there saying, oh, I'm killing it right now. I'm up a set in a break. But this girl across the corner or across the court, she doesn't look like she's losing, winning, or anything. She's just playing like she did at the beginning of the match. And that can get into your mind when you're thoroughly beating someone and they're not looking like they're being beaten. That can, you know what I mean? Like that's, and they say, it's good to have positive body language. Well, that is related to that whole thing, but it's a different dynamic of that body language kind of game that goes between players on court, between points. Daria asking, what is it like in the locker room? There's a book on it too. I don't remember. Someone had mentioned. Anyone knows? I have never been in a professional tennis locker room, so I cannot answer that question, my friend. If anyone has anything on there or read any books or whatever, throw it in the comments. For Daria M saying, I'm fascinated to see how Medi and Aruna get on with best of 5 on clay. Completely different ball game. Yeah, for me, it's Runa and Sinner. I'm not worried about Medi. I think Medi's got the engine that can go on and on and on and on. He could play 2 tournaments back to back without even a flinching. But with the physicality, Runa and Sinner, and maybe even Alcaraz a little bit, because Alcaraz, two of his 3 losses this year, he's 30 wins and 3 losses. 2 of them he had some sort of injury issue, whatever. So there is still, we still got to remember, he hasn't played a major since he won the US Open. That was back in, was that August, September? I think it was late September. Yeah, I think actually 9/11 was the championship match. So there you go, September. So we got to remember that it's not going to be a cakewalk for Alcaraz. This guy hasn't played a best of 3 match in quite a while. Virtually everyone else in the draw has. Okay, what else we got? Oh, check it out from Game to Love Tennis Podcast. Join the YouTube membership. Also, give this video a like. Subscribe if you're new, folks. Okay, I'm going to take a break from the comments. Although, real quick, I'm going to say Russian Pride from Ivo Lesmana. Ivo, welcome to the chat. Really good to have you. Oh, also, hello, friends. Hello, Ghosty. All right, folks, I'm going to be back to the comments in a second, but we're going to continue on. We're getting into some rankings information. So, we're half an hour in, so we're doing pretty good. I'm going to try and cut it off 45 to 50 minutes. So back to the slides from at First Serve Tennis rankings update. The new ATP top 2 in the world, Alcaraz and Daniil Medvedev. Medvedev leapfrogging Novak Djokovic with his win in Rome. Iga Swiatek from Poland begins a 60th week as world number 1, just the third woman to rack up 60 plus consecutive weeks in their first stint as world number 1. So she's been world number 1 for the past 60 weeks, hasn't given it up, basically took it from Barty, and no one else has had it. So congratulations, Iga. Of course, always super inspiring, generational talent, as we all know. The new French number 1 is Hugo Humbert. There he is, Alcaraz, Medvedev, Iga, and Humbert. So next. This is from at Jose Morgado. By the way, folks, there's also another Jose Morgado, a fake one, but it's if you see him on Twitter, it's more. It's spelled M-O-R-E. This is the real one, M-O-R. I actually follow both of them because the other guy's funny, but it just in case, you know, in case you're into the tennis Twitter and you might get fooled by the more M-O-R-E Gado. Anyways, that's just a little public service announcement. Roland Garros 2023 men's singles seeds if nobody withdraws till Thursday. So Alcaraz 1, Medi 2, Novak 3, Casper Ruud 4. So there you go, folks. So Stefanos Tsitsipas gets bumped, and then Holger Rune now makes his way up to 6. We got Rublev 7, Sinner. That's your top 10 rounding out here with Fritzy and Auger Aliassime. You got Hachanov, Tiafoe, Hurkacz, Norrie, Coric, Tommy Paul, Musetti, Diminor, Batista Agut, Daniel Evans, Jan-Lennard Struff, Alexander Zverev, Cerundolo. We have Korda. We have Botic van de Zandschulp. We have Shapo, and Nishioka, Dimitrov, Fokina, Shelton, Kecmanovic, and Bernabe Zapata Miralles. Rounds out. So this is what our top 32 seeds will look like should no one drop out before this Thursday. All right, so continuing on with the Iga news, Iga Swiatek kicks off her milestone 60th consecutive week at number 1 today. Swiatek is just the third woman in WTA rankings history to accumulate 60 or more wins in her first stint. As mentioned, the other two, Steffi Graf and Martina Hingis. So pretty wonderful company, and there she is rocking her new On gear. That is world number 1, Iga. Now, check it out, folks, from at Tennis Tiebreak, at Tiebreak Tennis _. A new WTA ranking is here. So this is the proper rankings. We've got Iga Swiatek, 89.40. And remember, folks, Iga's defending 2,000 points. So we'll get into some news, but I believe that Iga, I think Iga, unless she makes the semis, she will lose her number 1 world ranking, believe it or not. And that doesn't matter what Sabalenka does, I believe. So just from her entering the tournament. So yeah, that's how many points Swiatek has. So this is a top 10. We got Iga number 1, Sabalenka 2, Pegula 3, Rybakina 4. So Rybakina now has made her way into the top 4 for the first time in her career, bumping Garcia and Goff. Goff is now outside the top 5 for the first time in a while. Jabeur is 7, Sakari 8, Kasatkina 9, Kvitova is 10. Now, talking about the race, this is the race ranking so far. As of today, Sabalenka is number 1 with 48.40, Rybakina 2, Iga 3, Pegula 4, Bencic number 5, Krejcikova 6, Kvitova 7, Kudermetova 8, Goff 9, and Ostapenko is number 10. Ostapenko has gone up 5 spots with her run to the semis, and then Kudermetova also 5 spots with her run to the semis. Elena Rybakina, this from at tennis365.com, saying Rybakina, Elena Rybakina, that's for you, Gary, is set to move up to a career high number 4 in the WTA rankings following her second WTA 1000 singles title And I wanted to show you this because we always go over the rankings and stuff, but we don't go over the prize money. It's fun to check that out once in a while. 2023 WTA prize money leaders and race ranking points after the Italian Open. So as of this moment, Rybakina, a cool 3.18 mil so far. Also, Rybakina, just a little bit less, 3.182 versus 3.188. So it's at about 6,000 less. So very, very close. Pagula, 2.235 mil, 1.801 for Kvitova, and 1.465 for Iga. So very lucrative half years. I don't know if any of us have ever made this much in half a year, but congratulations to these women. Some huge numbers they're putting up. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the big three on the women's side. This is from @TennisUpdates23. The big three clay titles on the WTA side have been split by the three best players in 2023, which sets up a very intriguing Roland Garros. Rome was won by Rybakina, Madrid by Sabalenka, and Stuttgart by Swiatek. So this is setting up a huge crash course with these three, folks. The draw is going to be massive. Whoever is alone on, well, I guess it will be, yeah. So we're going to have, obviously, Iga will be on one half, and Sabalenka will be on the third. So Rybakina, if I'm saying that right, will be the one we're going to watch. Will she be on whose side will she be? So that's going to be huge there. Relevant tennis, fun fact. All 5 1,000 finals this year have featured at least one of the big three on the women we just mentioned, Swiatek, Rybakina, Sabalenka, at least one of Alcaraz, Rune, and Sinner. So here you go. Swiatek was in the finals in Dubai and Madrid. She won Dubai, lost Madrid. Sabalenka lost Indian Wells, won Madrid. Rybakina won Indian Wells, lost Miami, won Rome. Alcaraz wins Indian Wells, wins Madrid. Sinner loses Miami final, and Rune loses the Monte Carlo and Rome finals. So those are the commonalities. Are these 6 players separating themselves in their respective fields? And also another career high. This is from Zheng Qinwen, makes her top 20 debut, rising from 21 to 19 following her run to the quarters in Rome. She's the 5th Chinese woman to break into the top 20 in WTA rankings history after Lina, Zheng Ji, Peng Shuai, and Wang Qiang. So congratulations to Zheng Qinwen. She is a player who I think has a lot of power and can potentially make her way into the ranks of a future big three potentially. All right, folks. So a couple more slides, and then we're going to call it a day. We're only 37, so not too bad. I just thought that this was crazy. How often does 7 players from one country win all of their qualifying matches? So this is from @Gasparlanca saying players from Argentina, and this is updated today as of what happened today in Paris. Players from Argentina win 7 out of 7 matches on their first day of Roland Garros qualifying. How about that? Cerundolo, that's the brother of Francisco, by the way, takes out Svida. We have Taverna moves through over Salza, Collarini over Delure, Olivo over Gomez. We have Carabelli over Uchida, Tirante over Hijikata, and we have Bagnis over Darderi. Not a bad day or couple years to be Argentina. They even won the World Cup with Lionel Messi. Okay, folks, what else? Got some injury news and another injury update. So we know Kyrgios cannot make it. He cut his foot trying to help his mother when she got carjacked at gunpoint. And then also, of course, we know Rafael Nadal has pulled out. But another of one of the big four. This is from @Christopher Clary saying Andy Murray has withdrawn from the French Open to focus on preparing for the grass court season and Wimbledon. A strong start to 2023 and won a clay court challenger in Aix, and that's in France, but failed to win a single match in the main tour clay event. So there is Andy Murray. Gotta love this guy. Heart of a lion, fierce, ferocious competitor, but he has decided I am going to focus my energies and my intentions on the grass court season. And I don't think that's a bad decision, to be quite honest. I think, his body does have a finite amount of miles left on it. So I think it would behoove him. I think he still truly believes he has a pretty good shot to go deep as well in Wimbledon. So let's hope for his sake. That would be pretty sweet. Okay, folks, going to look at a couple of more comments, and we're going to just wrap it up with we'll do players of the week on either side in a second, but I also do have a special birthday to go over. But first, we're going to go over some of these comments. So I'm going to back up to random spot here. Shrambini, hey, okay. How your boy doing? If you're asking how I'm doing awesome, Ghost. I woke up and played pickleball. I got some oxygen. I burned some calories. I just feel good. Shrambini Tennis saying, recording podcast soon. Just wanted to say hi and like the stream. Hey, Kavi. Welcome, Shrambini, the touch tennis maestro. Great to have you in the chat, buddy. Yeah, please do like and subscribe, folks. All of you, if you're new, it really helps us and bring you more stuff. I don't trust Kvidova's 10. She had that one great run and title in Miami, but I think with her age and inconsistency, we can't really back that ranking. I would agree with you. I don't think that she's, based on the numbers, she's there. And, this year we don't have any worries about this person wasn't there. They took ranking points away here. So wherever she's at, she's earned. But I know what you mean. It's basically front loaded on one result. And so I also agree with you. I don't see her making too much of a dent, but she is one of those players who has the pedigree of winning majors and can pull through in interesting kind of matchups. Hello to Jane from Cedric. We got Cap saying, let's get that Swiatek Penko third round at Roland Garros. Penko's going to play like she has nothing to lose, as she always does. That would be a great matchup. Ghost saying, Shrambini Tennis, cool. I'll look out for that podcast. Big three women will soon be ranked 1 to 3. Love it. Unless JPEG really surprises in Paris. I think you're right, Gary. I think finally they'll be all sitting in that 1, 2, 3 ranking spots, as I think they're supposed to. Send money, I'm poor. Folks, also remember, if you would like to send a tip, $5 gets you any button you like. Thanks for reminding me about that, Cap. All right. Max saying, Gary, someone wouldn't like it if JPEG were to do well in Roland Garros. That's Uncle Ghosty right there. If you catch my drift, who could that be? I so want Jess to do well, but I'm concerned. Yeah, I feel like she's been quiet of late. Let's see what happens. Ghost, but she is one of those players who rarely loses matches she's supposed to win. So that's a good thing about Pegula. She's also, I find her to be one of the best return games in women's. I've been really impressed with her in the last 3-4 months of whenever I get to watch her on specifically the return game. Madrid is a bit of an outlier because it's apparently much faster. I hate Ryba and Iga's clay titles higher. Huh? Oh, sorry. I thought you said I hate. I rate Ryba and Iga's clay titles higher because they're more akin to the courts in Roland Garros. Very true. Yeah, Madrid is definitely the odd one out if you're talking about the three there. I'd say Rome is the closest. Obviously, it's outdoors. Stuttgart is indoors, so that makes it a big difference there. But yeah, you're right there, Ghost. RG is the slowest of all clay, I think. There you go, Daria. So yeah, Rome is in that ilk as well, especially with we had so much rain that slows it down. They're playing night matches that slows it down. So it could definitely, and that was what Ryba's win over Iga, even though again it was a retirement, she had everything against her. Surface favored Iga. The fact that it was a night match favored Iga. Slower again. The fact that it was raining favored Iga. Every single thing was in Iga's favor, and Ryba still came back. And to me, that is what is really kind of sticking out for me. So Go saying Zhang Qinwen is so cute, biting my fist. I totally agree with you. She is a total doll. Kathy, Rome was a bog. Forget slow. Any slower would have been reversed. Yeah, that's actually true. Let's go Argentina, says Max. Hey, Kathy, you make it home all right. Good question. Seems like it. Daria, it's my dream to see Alcaraz beat Djokovic on grass. Ooh. That would be quite the thing. I wonder how many chances he'll have. He might only have 2, 3, maybe let's say maximum 4. I mean, Djokovic turned 36 today. Will he be playing realistically will be playing majors when he's 40. Honestly, he's the one of the big three I wouldn't put it past. Like, I could see him just dedicate, because he knows, like, I love tennis. I've loved tennis my whole life. I want to play until I can no longer play, you know? And, but I mean, Alcaraz would have to do really well quick, because he's only played 6 or 7 career matches on grass so far. So he needs to get some experience to do that. I wonder if he'll be able to beat the clock of say Djokovic potential retirement. I'm not talking about like he's going to retire, of course, but I'm just saying, like, realistically, he's 36. Does he have, let's say, 2, 3, 4 more? Maybe I'd say 4 is like max, but that's being generous. Snehil Singh, Daria, not happening soon. Yeah, I would agree with you there, Snehil. Ghost, yeah, that carjacking story was nuts. Yeah, wasn't it? In case you guys are wondering what Ghost is talking about, Nick Kyrgios, his mother, they all, I guess, live together in a city called Canberra in Australia. She went out to get groceries or something with his car. It's a Tesla. She got robbed at gunpoint. The guy stole the car. She calls him frantically. Hey, I just got carjacked. He's like, are you okay? He runs out the house trying to help his mom, cuts his foot on something, lacerates his foot. And it's a shame because on all other accounts, his rehab and his fitness was 100%, they were saying. Not where 80% were on the way, we're in 100% match fitness, which, they probably weren't, but in terms of the conditioning, they have. So what happened was Kyrgios, with it being a Tesla, used the app to track the car and, got the cops to get the car. They got the guy, but he got injured. So yeah, a really crazy story there in case anyone was listening. The Argentinian players have been inspired by the football players. Yeah, there you go. I'm looking for Mira Andreeva to qualify for RG and make someone's life miserable. Yes, she was 15 beginning the Madrid tournament. She turned 16. She won like 2 or 3 pretty big matches. She ended up losing to Sabalenka, of course, the eventual champion. So very, very good run for the very youngster. And yes, I'm also very much looking forward to her as well. Good pickup there, Gary. Max, I can only imagine how well-known Leo Messi is outside of the U.S. Oh my gosh, I think he's one of the few people in the world who can't really go anywhere in the world without being noticed. You can't say that for like hockey players. You can say that for some basketball players. You can say that for Michael Jordan, for example. You can't really say that for baseball or football players. Maybe you could say it. No, I mean, what football player? Maybe Tom Brady, because he was married to Giselle. But yeah, I mean, there's no question Lionel Messi is like massive. Tennis players also can get to that level, football, stuff like that. But yeah, definitely outside of the U.S., massive. Any Indian player qualified? Not that I know of. There was one who won a tournament recently. Snehil actually told me about it. Snehil, let us know if you can. Oh, okay. Snehil with the answer. Daria, unfortunately, no. Thank you. I knew Snehil would know. Kavi burned 10 whole calories playing 1 hour pickleball. Actually, it was 638 calories in 1 hour of pickleball, believe it or not. Daria can't even play qualies. Forget about main. Can't play qualies. Forget about main draw. Speaking of any Indian players. Okay, gonna quickly. There's a lot of comments going. So apologies if I'm missing. As you all know, I do love to try to get as many as I can. Seeing as I'm kind of neutral for this, I want lots of long matches. Well, at least on the men's side, you got best of 3. Best of 5. So you're definitely gonna be seeing an average of way more tennis in the next 3 weeks. Well, next 2 weeks, starting in a week. Ghost saying Djokovic is incredibly disciplined, diet, exercise, mental focus. He could still be relevant for many years to come. Yeah, for sure. I just, this is the first time we've ever seen him kind of break down since his major elbow issues in like 2015, 16. And it's not like anything major is happening, but he did have the hamstring issue in Australia. Now he's had, the sleeve on his arm. And, some people are saying that he's, this is like the least tuned up he's been going into a Roland Garros. But yeah, I agree with you that he's going to do everything possible to prolong his career as long as he knows that he's able to, like, keep up a certain standard. People are insane, says Ems. Let's see here. Who we knew that was coming for Andy. Yeah, it was a big bummer, but yeah. Okay. So I'm going to get back to the last two slides. We'll get into the player of the week on the women's and men's side, and we're going to wrap it up. So this is from Jake, seems to be Australian, saying at Incredibly Boza, saying, happy 36th birthday, Novak Djokovic, the greatest sportsman and inspiration I've witnessed in my life. 10-time Australian Open champion, 2-time Roland Garros champion, 3-time US Open champion, 6-time ATP finals. I think they're missing that he is a 7-time Wimbledon champion. 387 weeks as world number one. Not only that, folks, he's the only player in the history of tennis to win all ATP Masters 1000 at least twice. I mean, mind-boggling stats. It just never gets old. Happy birthday, 36th birthday to the one and only Novak Djokovic. And folks, believe it or not, 32 years today, Novak Djokovic was gifted his very first tennis racket. So there he is, 4-year-old. The day he turned 4, he was gifted his first tennis racket. And it was love at first sight. And as they say, that's all she wrote. So he has turned this one tennis racket and a passion into an entire career, an entire livelihood. He has inspired countless people throughout the entire planet, and just have not enough good words to say. Happy birthday to Novak Djokovic, 36 today, and very, very glad that he's able to play, and there should no longer be any hindrances from him to be able to play any tournaments and anywhere in the world. So really, really great to have that news, and a very happy birthday to generational talent, one of the greatest sportsmen in the history of sports. So Snehal Singh, wow, what a photo. Yeah, I love the fact that I did a little research and that he got his first racket on his birthday. Kavi, very nice Nole tribute. Excellent job. You're very welcome. I mean, greatness deserves respect. And hey, I love the guy, and I'm very, very happy. And I'm so glad that we're going to have unfortunately not with Rafa, but a pretty full tournament other than Rafa. And again, that is a big hole on the men's side. But the women's side's looking good. Hopefully Iga will be in good shape. Men's side looking pretty good as well. So there you go. Go Sing. Young Joker has crazy swag, military green shirt and pants, baller business. Yeah, for sure. Seriously, their live Lansdowne Road show was a great moment in music history. Oh, I missed something like that. Kavi, nice tribute to Novak. Hopefully he plays for 4 or 5 more years. Hey, I would love that. I want him to, believe me. So yeah, there you go. Nice tribute, Rafa. All right, folks. Now I'm gonna need you to guess, who do you think on the men's side this week? Who do you think was the ATP Player of the Week according to Kavi? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, and then I'm just gonna play a button, folks. So get your guesses in there. Let's see who gets it right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was it, folks. Daniil Medvedev. Who had it? Cap, Medi, Ems, Medi, Octopus, Klavedev, Daniil. Okay, I like it. Medi, you guys, that's too easy. Medi. Someday our greatest men's single player, Daria. Someday is our greatest. That's a name. So Someday is the name of the best Indian men's singles player ever. And I did not know that. So thank you for that information. We got the bear, Medi Bear from Cedric. All right, folks, on the women's side, get your responses in. Who do you think was the WTA Player of the Week on the WTA side? You got 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and this week's winner is
Carolina! Can you see her? Carolina, see her. Carolina, Carolina, causing the pain.
So we have one correct. We have M saying Reba. We have Cedric saying Reba. We have Max saying Reba. We have one person, or maybe a second. His name is Uncle Ghosty, and he had Kalinina. And the reason I put Kalinina, folks, one, amazing display of heart in that match against Beatrice Haddad Maia, the 3-hour and 41-minute match. It was crazy. I was actually waiting for that match to be done so I could call a match. And I was waiting for like 4 hours. Ben actually messaged me from the middle of the night in England saying, Kavi, has it not started yet? I was like, this match is going comically long. But Kalinina was so gutsy, and then she follows that up with a 3+ hour semifinal win over Kudermetova, and then she ends up having to retire. I believe it was due to having been on court for almost 7 hours in just the previous two matches. Of course, Rybakina, if I'm saying it correctly, she had 3 retirements. So one of them was in the first set, one was in the second, and one was in the third. You know what? I can actually double check that because I have the window right open. So first set, yeah, so she was up 4-3 and there was retirement. In the second retirement, it was in the third set at 2-2, and then in the third retirement is the second set. So yeah, she played 1 set retirement, 2 set retirement, 3 set retirement. So she definitely did not have as much wear and tear. And also wanted to say that Kalinina was mentioning in a press conference before the final. Someone asked her, you know, what's about the handshake, not handshake with Kudermetova, and she said, look, you know, we all know that their countries bombed ours, and my parents are tennis coaches, and their training center is like 300 meters away from an airport, and the airport was bombed this weekend, you know, so you know, she's playing through all of that, knowing her family is like, you know, under fire, and she's still performing and all that stuff. So that is why I have her, and definitely well-deserved in my opinion. Cedric, I meant Kalinina. Yes, Kalinina, maybe is that how it says. Again, I have to, I'm going to, Gary, I promise you, I'm going to check out both these names right after this stream because I do want to be able to get them right. Kavi, you had to check out some Dave. He played the big three at their peak and gave really good fight. I saw a clip of the match. You know what? I'll see if I can find anything on YouTube. That's really cool. She deserves it. Reba had a bunch of retirements. Kalinina came to the final the hard way. Applause to her. Yeah, I agree. All right, folks. Well, I didn't want to go too, oh my gosh, almost an hour. Yeah, I think it's time to call it. Went a little hard on the comments today, but you guys always bring great comments, and I'm really grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for coming in, checking out Kavi's Corner. You know, at the Australian Open, I did a daily segment, Kavi's Corner, all 14 days. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to Ben and JG what the plan is, if I'm going to be doing once a day type of thing, or maybe once every couple days, or what, but something will be up. Or maybe I'll do like a big preview next week or something. Actually, no, it'll already be started. So we'll keep you posted, and you'll definitely be seeing me on some streams. But I want to say thank you to everyone. Again, like, subscribe to the video. If you're new to the channel, we really, really appreciate every one of you, and I'll see you all at Roland Garros, y'all.
It's Kavi's Corner. Give it a like. I said give it a like. Leave a little comment, share the video, and hit subscribe. That's right. It's your boy. Check out this other video.